All right, so here's the point of the content today. A, the boys want to golf, okay? B, we actually want to talk some football because you guys don't give a shit about what we do on the golf course. We're terrible golfers, okay? So there's that. So a couple of problems with this content. A, we're terrible golfers. B, we're doing list format, and list radio, Jonathan, normally is a build.
Yeah.
Like you build to 1. But we're gonna start at 1 and work our way down to 9 today on list, all right, and on this form of content. If this works, we're gonna do this multiple times over. I don't think it's gonna, but hey, let's hope it does because I love to golf. We're gonna rank college football jobs 1 to 9 today. All right, so here's the premise of the debate. If all of the jobs in America were to come open tomorrow, you start them from scratch, where do you go? Okay, ranking 1 to 9. We're gonna go hit a range session and try to get this catastrophic game together. And then we'll go hit the first tee and have the first debate on number 1. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff. We appreciate you for being here.
Let's get it. Whip it and rip it, baby.
Let's give it a hell. Let's give it a shot.
Let's
I mean,
go.
literally. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I forgot to mention, we're at the home course here today. Traditions, beautiful. It's in prime condition out here today in Jefferson, Georgia. But we are ranking the top jobs in college football of the blue bloods, if you will. Okay, if they were all to become available today, who would you go with? All right, in the debate in-house between this Georgia homer and myself, all right, on the first one, here we are on the first par 4 at Traditions Country Club. It's between Georgia and Texas. I chose Texas. Jonathan chose Georgia. Jonathan, we will open the floor to you. Why is Georgia the best available job apart from your ties to the university, you homer?
Oh, I mean, look, if you can't pay thousands of dollars to be a homer for your job, then what's the point of doing it anyways? But I just truly think that Georgia is built up for the most success. Like if you were to walk in today, take that head coaching job, you've got the facilities, you've got the surrounding area for you, you got the state of Georgia, Florida, Alabama, all the southern states to recruit from in the 5-hour radius, as we like to claim it.
Yep.
They've always been great at recruiting. There's a winning tradition there. I think that it's built right now to have the most immediate success, in my opinion.
Look, we're going to hit on some of these same notes for at least Georgia and Texas and a lot of these other programs. We kind of have the same criteria. I think your proximity to talent, what we call your 5-hour radius, are you within a driving distance from the university? Your proximity to talent's important. Your financial means and your funds to be able to go get that talent nowadays in college football is vital as well. But I also think your academic or your athletic structure, right? What does your athletic administration allow for the football coach to do? Is he allowed to walk in and be a dictator? Is he allowed to walk in and demand whatever he wants, right? Is the football a priority at the university? Obviously with Texas and Georgia, I think we're splitting hairs. For me, I think it's the sample size in the pool. Perennially, right, the Texas high school football product is just slightly better, even though the state of Georgia is investing tremendous amounts of dollars into the high school product nowadays. And not to mention, Jonathan, for me, it's the billionaire boosters out there at Texas. I mean, we do live in a day and age where NIL and funding is very, very important in college football. So yeah, they literally have, Jonathan, I looked it up today, 3 billionaire families that are highly competitive about who cares about Texas football the most. It can't get more of a prime situation for Steve Sarkisian and the Longhorns.
Yeah, the money is undeniable. And in today's era of college football, that's hard to argue with. I mean, that's arguably the most important thing right now. I guess maybe what tilted it for me is everything else that comes to a football program, Georgia holds the edge. But money's undeniable, as I mentioned.
Absolutely. All right, let's show you these horrendous swings.
That's good.
All right, we are playing from the whites today. I don't want to hear any smoke in the comment sections. Okay, we suck at golf. We know this. We're here to give football opinions. Roast those, not our golf swings. All right, here we go. Oh, she's a beaut. That's where you want to be right there, Jay Will. Oh, she kicked right. Don't tell the chat that. Don't tell the chat that. All right.
Never have swung this club before. So.
Yeah, we got brand new clubs for Jay Will right here. At least new to me.
Brand new clubs to me.
New to me.
That's right. Free clubs, can't ever deny those.
Nope.
Hopefully they'll play as good as the price was. No. Not off to a good start, but that's okay.
Little cart path combo continuing this #1 overall ranking, Jonathan. I think for me, it's not just the amount, a percentage amount more money that Texas has. It's slightly more, right? But it's the slightly larger sample size of high school athletes as well.
Yeah.
And nowadays in college football, it's not just about high school recruiting. Think about how many guys come out of the portal and transfer back to universities back closer to home. So when they miss on guys in the state of Texas nowadays, right? Let's say they miss on a 3-star recruit that goes and plays somewhere else and balls out. That guy's been dying to play for the Texas Longhorns since day one. No different than what Georgia has, but we're talking about percentages between the difference between 1 and 2 for me, and I think it's a smidgen better of a job out there at Texas than for Georgia.
I think that's the best point you could have made about the percentage of athletes as the transfer portal, the number of kids, because per capita, Georgia's up there with producing talent, but when it comes to pure numbers, Texas certainly holds the edge there.
Yep. All right. Nobody's trying to break the tour record today, Jonathan. No one's applying for their tour card today. We're going to let the chat know this is a free drop, okay? It's a free drop. Just in all honesty, right, Jonathan?
That's right.
Oh!
Get better. Our golfing swings get better, so we're really improving all around as human beings right now.
I will say this, the amount of margin for improvement, not as large as the golf swing.
No.
The golf swing, plenty of room for improvement for both of us.
But you know what? 10,000 hours regardless. Let's add another
I mean,
5
look at that
seconds to the
divot.
tally.
Hey, I don't know if she's going to hold up, but she might be findable.
Potentially playable. We'll have to see.
I mean, dude, they're going to run up my fees when they see this. All right, was any other team in contention for number 1 for you, Jonathan? I was splitting hairs personally between Georgia and Texas.
Yeah, it really was just Georgia and Texas.
Hey, don't talk in my backswing.
My apologies.
It was Georgia and Texas.
Yeah.
And who else? Was there a close third?
I mean,
to me, there was a tier of top 3 teams. It was Georgia, Texas, and Ohio State slightly there, just because they kind of own that region up there.
yeah.
You go get this out of the hole for me, buddy. Fat again. Man, it's pitiful.
A golf shot of mine is going to ruin our content.
Yeah, I don't think they care about the shots. Honestly, I don't even know if they care about the takes today.
All right.
It sounded pure.
It did. That's not a good sign usually. If she gets up
Hey, that's
there,
one of them golf shots that's going to play, though. He topped the hell out that. That's like 4 feet from the pin. Hey, is there a football analogy for that? One of those, oh, no, 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 yes plays?
I would equate that as fumbling the ball and your teammate picks it up and runs it another 20 yards.
Yeah, not bad. Look, a Texas wedge. Coming right at you, chat. All right, we'll pick that up later. We're playing the mulligan, by the way. We'll take the stroke.
Here we go.
I mean, we'll play the mulligan, okay? Speaking of mulligans, how about Steve Sarkisian getting a mulligan on job number 2, right? Didn't go so well out there at USC. Worked out at Washington. Didn't work so well at USC. Job number 2, balling. Balling at Texas. Amen, Jonathan?
Amen.
Everybody loves a comeback story. Hey, do you read your lines, Jonathan?
Of course I do.
Are the lines true?
It's been a minute since I've had to do so, I'll be honest.
They're not as true as those betting lines in Vegas. 10.5 on both of these teams, Georgia and Texas this year. Which one hits the over?
I would probably lean Texas.
Oh.
Just because, I mean, their schedule's more favorable, right?
Yeah, I would say so. First roll of the day. Oh, good effort. All right, we'll see y'all on the next hole. We're enough with the golf. We'll get back to the takes. All right, as we travel to hole number 2, our number 2 job on the ranking scale, as you just heard us debate in hole 1, is the University of Georgia. This big guy's alma mater. Now, the University of Georgia comes in at number 2 for obvious reasons. For me, we talked about the 5-hour radius on the first hole. However, being the director of scouting for Sports Illustrated, one thing you learn very, very quickly, the level and quality of high school football in this state is it's second to none in my opinion. There's a mass amount of quantity out there in the state of Texas, okay, with really good quality. The amount of quality high school football around here is obvious, and I think it was most apparent when I think it was Northwest Georgia's Twitter account this week released all of the salaries that these high school football coaches are making now in the state of Georgia, guys. You can make up to $150,000, $200,000 coaching high school football. What does that attract? Really, really good football coaches. What does that attract? High levels of high school football. So the quality of prospect that you get coming out of this state is really, really high. They could picket fence the state of Georgia and finish with the top 3 class every year. That's why it is so coveted. I think even for the future, Jonathan, it's only going to get more invested in terms of high school football.
Yeah, and this was one of the reasons why I did pick them as number 1. I forgot to mention it is because they strictly care about football. I mean, you and I know this because we cover UJ athletics in totality. It's football season. That's what they care about when it's not football season. They just want more football. If baseball's great, that's okay. If basketball's good, that's okay. But football is the biggest priority here.
And look, we're going to keep talking about this with some of these higher ranked schools. Where football ranks in your athletic department, or even if it is the sole focus of your athletic department, that matters. It's never mattered more in college football than right now with rev share coming down the pat, right? We got $20.5 million to divvy up. If you're good at basketball, I don't care. I'm a football coach, and that's what we're here to rank today. I think these 2 schools at the top prioritize football as much as anybody, maybe close second to Ohio State, who's going to be number 3 on our list coming up next. Good. J-Will, have you ever played here?
I did in high school.
I mean, she's pure, isn't she?
Oh, she's even better than when I played, I'd say.
Well, she's done gone private, you know? Done gone private with the uppity folk.
Keeping the public out?
Yeah, with the uppity folk, man.
I might have been a cause of that, not going to lie.
I mean, did you see the divot I put on 1? I'll put sand back in it, I promise, okay? Here we go. This is going to end poorly. I mean, the first 3 swings didn't go well either. Straight in the woods, isn't it? Findable. You know, I was a classic BP hitter in high school. If I had a good BP session, I was cooked day of. The game was going to be shit. That's what happened today in the it's off camera, so nobody knows but Jonathan. Jonathan, was the range session pure?
It was.
The range session was pure. This is not pure. Chat's gonna be like, bro defending himself, bro. We know you suck at golf. I mean, we're watching it. You suck at golf. I mean, swing was so pure.
Damn.
Hey, that's all right. As my grandpapa would say, that dog will hunt.
Grandpa speaks the truth.
Grandpa speaks the truth. Shout out to Doodad. Hey, that's a nice cart right there. We got number 60. Hey, Jonathan, shout out to, well, no, Andrews wore 61 at Georgia, didn't he?
He did. I don't know if there's a 60 that I can recall.
Is there a great 60? 60's kind of a poo number, not gonna lie.
Might be an underrated number. Someone needs to get on that.
Somebody?
Somebody.
It ain't gonna be me.
Ladies and gentlemen, you never believe it. It kicked off a tree and it's in the fairway. Line 2 right now. Got a shot at eagle.
Oh, we're certainly lying. Ladies and gentlemen, in the famous words of Kirby Smart, can't be afraid to hit your layups every once in a while, you know. So let's give her a nice poke with this here 5-iron. Hey, yo.
Step through the smoke real quick.
Yeah. Step up in the smoke right quick. Oh, man, I can feel that camera on me. It doesn't feel good. Oh, that thing was pure, Jonathan. That's a golf shot.
That's
First
what
one
it's
of the
supposed
day.
to look like.
First one of the day, a golf shot.
Big dubs in the chat.
Big dubs in the chat. Let's go. See what Stretch got going on here.
You just called me potato chip back in high school. You're about to find out why.
Why would they call you potato chip? Why would they
Because of that. That was my best looking shot. It's not on the green, but it's my best looking one so far.
They called you potato chip?
Not really.
You know, Kirby Smart, I think it was Kirby said you don't want your head coach to be good at golf, right? Do you want your football content creator to be good at golf?
Perhaps not.
Yeah, I grind tape, baby. That's what we do. We're going to go, what's up?
I took 2 years off of this game for the love of content creating, so I sacrificed my golf game for this.
What a sacrifice from J. Will. A little bump and run action. Get over that hill. Roll. Hey, we're playing golf. We're playing golf today. Let's go. Let's go hit that in. Come on. I just ran like an old man. I don't know why I did that.
I thought you were going to give the Tiger fist pump, but instead you just chucked your club.
No. Just checking clubs, baby.
Oh, okay.
Just checking clubs. Hey, nice little bump and run, though.
I mean,
2 golf shots back to back?
doesn't get better than that.
We might be comfortable on camera now. Let's do one of those cool golf content creator things where he puts it in with the back of the club. How about that? Oh, shorted it! It was a gimme anyways. You were giving it to me, right?
Producer cut it.
Chat was giving it to me. Hey, shout out to that tree. That's a birdie. Oh, he just gave a Friday Night Lights shout out. That's classic. Oh, we're gonna test the range of that mic. Y'all probably getting audio peaks right about now. Hey, no big sponsor here, but shout out to you guys. Hopefully y'all support the boys and maybe support this style of content. I hope it's fun. It's gonna be fun for us either way. I mean, we're out here playing golf. Not very good. Okay, potato chip.
You about to find out, I'm telling you. There it is.
Let him cook? Let him
Question the man.
cook?
Don't question the man.
Hey, we
Scramble squad,
just got to get you 90 and in.
that's it.
You're like the complete opposite of everybody else.
Not even going to read it. We're just going to tap it in.
Look at this guy. Real fleet. Hey, you didn't pull the pin. That's 2 strokes.
Oh, dang. I thought it was COVID golf still.
All right, a unanimous number 3 vote for us here on the Film Guy Network. Ohio State, the Buckeyes. Jonathan, I don't know if there's a bigger public university. I think UCF might have more students.
Yeah.
But in terms of just pure mass, Ohio State is the biggest football power that there is, okay? And with that mass comes a lot of resources, obviously. High enrollment means high endowment, okay? Those two are connected typically. Not only that, man, you're talking about an absolute an unscrew-upable job,
Right.
Okay, since the Second World War, they've had 3 losing seasons, and Jonathan, one of those was because Jim Tressel was giving the homies tattoos.
Ooh.
Okay, so they got suspended, and then Luke Fickell had to figure some shit out, went 6-7. Apart from that, they are a rolling 10-win program, and you got to be an idiot to mess it up.
I mean, you know they have resources for sure because we continue to pound the 5-hour radius rule. Not to crap on Ohio football or anything like that, but it doesn't quite measure up to what's in Texas or at Georgia. They've got the resources to bring in those athletes, and they got the tradition to do so, and they've had the coaches to bring the success as well.
And not only that, they get the pick of the litter in the Northeast.
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, they are the big dog up there. If you're a big premier prospect in that northeastern region of the country, which it does have pockets of really, really good football, you're going to be considering Ohio State in that top list. Number 3 on our big board rankings for top jobs, Ohio State, the Buckeyes. I mean, another thing about Ohio State, Jonathan, not unlike all these other jobs, apart from maybe Texas that we ranked 1, talk about stability in the job in and of itself. In my lifetime, they've had 3 head coaches. And I really think they only had 3 head coaches because of Jim Tressel getting in trouble, or what it was trouble back then. You know what I mean? But it was Tressel and then Urban Meyer and now Ryan Day, and since Day's won that title, he's locked in for good, you would think as well. So stability comes with the job as well, Jonathan.
Absolutely. I mean, I really only remember Urban Meyer and Ryan Day being a head coach there because I am 24 years old. So.
Oh, you don't remember Sweater Vest, do you?
No, not quite.
Oh, dude, you missed it.
I know the stories, of course, but
so you didn't get to see like the prime Ohio State teams, Laurinaitis, Terrell Pryor, all those. Well, I guess Terrell Pryor wouldn't have been prime. Troy Brown, all those. You didn't see those?
I was a little too young for that.
Dang.
Really
dang.
showing my age right now.
Hey, they about had Florida in that championship game that you were too young to watch. Old buddy took a kickoff back for a touchdown and they got hurt in the celebration, Jonathan. Yep. Say again. That might be in the hole. Oh, you know what would be really cool, Jonathan, with this content? I mean, it's probably not going to hit, but God forbid I hit a hole in one and it's on camera finally. Oh my God, that'd get me off.
That would just show up to the golf course, have a couple balls, no tees or anything like that, and would just scavenge his way through a round of golf.
Oh, free tee guy?
Free tee guy would be in the woods getting golf balls.
Oh, I hate those guys. I mean, just show up with the clubs and figure the rest out.
Yeah, basically. Wasn't a bad golfer either. Hope you're doing well, Tom. It kicked.
Yeah, it kicked right next to the hole. That was crazy. I think the other thing, Jonathan, that should be noted at this point, now that we have our first Big Ten team on the list, I mean, this is going to be all Big Ten SEC football, except for one little caveat towards the end of this list. But
Yeah.
with this being our first Big Ten team, I want SEC fans to know there is a vast difference between their television contract and yours, okay? And that does matter in college football nowadays. I think the annual revenue split is about the delta, the net difference is about $14 million per school, okay, that Big Ten members are getting on top of what the SEC is getting. So the Big Ten obviously has a lot of money. Ohio State, the school who has the most money of them all. I think last year I saw reports, they reported revenues of close to $250 million. So they are a massive player in college football for a reason. And like we said, pretty dummy proof. Not that Ryan Day is a dummy, but they ain't had too many bad ones out there at Ohio State.
No, they have not. Tee shot worth the same amount of strokes right here.
What in the world?
What'd I tell you? Potato chip. Is that good? Would you call that good?
Favorite parts about golf. When you earn the right, Jonathan, to fix a divot, ooh, toss a lawn dart right quick. Oh yeah, baby, give it to me. Oh, mark the ball. Oh, come on now, I'm on the tour. He's 6 inches from the hole, dude.
I know. I told you that.
Fucking potato chip. Crazy word, bro.
Good luck following that one up.
I'm saying though. Chat, that was the 9th time he hit that shot. Don't let him lie to you. Way left, not enough.
Fitting that it's way left considering we're talking about Ohio State.
Closing thoughts on the Buckeyes?
I mean, I would say again, like it's not like there's a far drop off between them and Georgia, despite the fact that we said that it was a debate between Georgia and Texas. I mean, it was immediately, your big three.
Yeah.
Georgia, Ohio State, and Texas. Those were the top three up for discussion in this one. So it's not like it was like, oh, Ohio State's significantly worse than those two schools. They're neck and neck with one another.
And we're just Southern homers. So there's that. All right, on to hole number 4, Jonathan. Consensus number 4 on both of our rankings that we combined into a singular poll. The Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, here's my reasoning. Obviously, 5-hour radius. We've been talking about it ad nauseum at this point in this episode. However, they get to extend into Louisiana. Yep. They get to extend all the way over into Atlanta, right? They get to extend up there into Memphis. Like, they got a lot of regional hubs for football around them with a lot of good talent. Not only that, if you've ever been to Tuscaloosa, and this does matter, this is somebody from the Southeast, dude, that's loved football his entire life. No college town I have been to is more built to love football. Everything about that place directs directly towards the stadium. The stadium in and of itself feels like a modern day Coliseum. There is no more of a football town, in my opinion. Athens is a great college town, but a football built to love the sport, Tuscaloosa.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. That was one of the more college towns that I was very impressed with and that I love. Excited to go back eventually. But I think one other thing about Alabama that really made the difference for me is, a big conversation when Kalen DeBoer took the job was, how is the recruiting going to go? How is that going to work out for him, a West Coast guy coming down to the South? Alabama logo still holds weight. That's not a discredit to Kalen DeBoer at all. He's still doing a tremendous job, and his staff is, but they're recruiting nationally. They're still getting top-end blue-chip players across the country.
And by the way, in this mythical situation, Jonathan, we would be the guy after the guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We'd be replacing DeBoer if all jobs were available tomorrow, which makes that job a little bit more appetizing to me.
Absolutely.
Even though the structure that Saban built, I do think DeBoer reaps a little bit of benefit out of it, right? It still feels like Bama, right? We can still talk about the Bama standard because we're still somewhat connected to it. Number 4 on the list, the Alabama Crimson Tide. We're here at beautiful hole number 4 at Traditions Country Club. It's a good layup hole, Jonathan. I mean, you can try to drive it over those bunkers, okay? But I don't got my name on my bag, you know what I mean? I'm just a regular Joe Schmo. Oh yeah, come on back, baby. Come on back. Don't go into those bunkers. Hell, that'll play. That'll play. We got enough tees for the next round. Let's go.
Every time feels so awkward.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
All right.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Is that a La Casa?
indeed.
Hey, we got ice and they got insurance.
Oh, nice.
Thank you for that.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. We've been talking a lot about high school football, right? We talked a lot about Alabama or Texas high school football, Georgia high school football, gave our opinions about that. One thing I love most about Alabama football, and I could be wrong on this, but I truly, to my core, believe this. There is no tougher brand of football than Alabama high school football. You talking about dudes that love contact, dudes that don't give a shit if they got nice cleats, whether or not the ground is pretty, whatever the facility, who gives a shit? Line up, mark the ball, blow the whistles, let's play some damn football. That's that whole entire state. To me, that's that whole entire region. That's the feel around football. Not only that, when you go to be an employee at Alabama, you become the head football coach. You're not just the most powerful person in the university, you're the most powerful person in the state. I mean, Nick Saban ran the state of Alabama, I felt like, for 15 years. Okay, so whatever, and nowadays with legislation, unless we get some type of uniform law out of House versus NCAA, which I'm not optimistic about, I mean, how well you can run your legislation means a lot, Jonathan.
Yeah, and you know, a thing for me, and I don't get this feeling with other programs, but when you're talking about high school recruits, I specifically can tell sometimes when hearing kids talk or listening to kids of like, you sound like an Alabama football player, or you feel like an Alabama football player. I can't say I felt that about a Georgia player or an Ohio State player, but Alabama kids for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. They feel like that. Like I said, there's a brand of football from Alabama, in my opinion. Love Alabama high school football. We have Coach Jonathan up to lay up here, okay? But mom ain't raised no bitch. I'm gonna go hunting. All right, so the pin right over that bush, if you will. So we're gonna whack her into the bush. Here we go. Chat, can anybody hit their 3-iron straight? I know I can't. Except today.
She's dialed.
Oh, buddy, that thing is either blown off the back. Oh my God, Jonathan, come and look at this. Come look at this. Zoom in on that son bitch. Chad, if you waited 12 minutes into this episode, you found out that Brooksy's dialed today.
Oh.
Whee!
Nice and easy, just how I like it.
That's going to be perfect, Jonathan. You know who my least favorite guy is? Guy who watches football and gets mad at coaching staff for quote-unquote playing it safe or playing for points. You know, like, buddy, you would have been criticizing if he was playing aggressive and lost your ass.
And those situations are so dumb, too, because if it works out, then the only time you criticize it is if it doesn't work out.
It's
If
all
it
hindsight criticism.
Exactly.
And ain't no hindsight optimism.
Just like going for it. If you didn't go for that, you wouldn't be putting right now.
You got dang for Eag, brother.
Eag?
For Eag, brother. Jonathan, I used my first Eagle play in like years. So
No pressure.
none. I can't use it.
Fitting again that we're talking about Ohio. Ohio. Or no, we're on Alabama.
Alabama now.
Never
I don't
mind.
think they got any famous missed field goals. Wide right, wide left.
Not that I can recall.
No, just kick sixes. Ooh.
Take it to the house.
Yeah, let's crib this bitch. Hold it. That's all right. We'll take birdie. We'll take birdie. Jonathan, where are you at?
I'd say I built a hot streak, but if there is a hot streak, it's this game right here. Perhaps
Now,
we can continue.
I will say this after the shot. I think 3 or 4 years ago, Alabama's like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, Alabama's way up this list. Prior to NIL, I think Alabama's one.
They are one.
Yeah.
Undeniable.
Yeah.
Not the best.
I mean, for Christ's sake, Nick Saban left an NFL job to go to Alabama. been going great at Miami, but he still left the Dolphins to go coach Alabama in a down spell of Alabama football.
Yeah, man. I think with the reputation, because people will say you can't judge a job just based on how good the coach is, but I think with how long Nick Saban was at that program, what he did at that program, how far he brought it up, because this is like a 10-year span that we're talking about with Nick Saban. It is relevant to talk about the stature of that program after he left.
It's another football program, Jonathan, that's only had 5 football coaches since like the 60s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if they will get along. All right, number 5 on the chat, and we were gonna try, or on the list. Okay, big dubs in the chat. Number 5 on the list. We're gonna try to save this one for a part 3 because the analysis on this one's real simple. It's Oregon, and it's for 2 reasons. 1, Phil Knight. 2, uniforms. But here's the third reason. Okay, here's the third reason. In all seriousness, Oregon is cool. I know it sounds goofy, right? But we're talking about high school athletes in the terms of player acquisition period. My entire life of watching college football, Oregon's been cool. They've been a cool football program. They're even cooler now under Dan Lanning than ever before in the NIL era. I know cool is goofy, but we're talking about acquiring young men. Cool is important.
That's what I was about to say, is Dan Lanning only heightened that as well. Yeah. And since in this hypothetical we would be taking the head coaching job, I don't know if I'm as cool as Dan Lanning, but you could put anybody at that university and it's still going to be...
Chip Kelly was cool at Oregon.
Right?
The robot that is Chip Kelly had cool teams at Oregon.
And I think the other thing, too, is if you dive into the recruiting about it, is you're really only competing with USC in your region. You can get into California and you can get over into that Western Hemisphere.
Obviously, SoCal's the priority in California recruiting. Northern California football, not as good as Southern California football, mainly because LA's in Southern California.
Yeah.
However, they do have a good tie-in to Northern Cal. The reason they're 5 for me, and nowhere, I wouldn't even put them in the near discussions of Texas, Georgia, and Ohio State, for me is because of that 5-hour radius, man. You got to pay twice as much to get kids to go out there. It is a tough flight. It's a tough region of the country to get football fanatics to go to, despite the fact that the home field advantage is dope. That stadium in Autzen was built to be loud. Number 5, the Oregon Ducks. I got to say, we good? I got to say, Jonathan, having gone out to Oregon this spring, I do think it's cool how isolated the football facilities are. Every school and every class is online nowadays, but if you're a football player at Oregon, you pretty much just spend all 365 days in a $100 million facility, which ain't all that bad.
No.
You know what I mean? But you do have to wear yellow.
More green.
Dark green's not bad, you're right. Oh, buddy, we are dialed. That's the best tee shot I've hit in here in like 20 rounds. Now, Jonathan, Aaron Murray's terrified to have a throwing competition with me. But after seeing, because he's only going to watch like 8 minutes of this. There's no way he got to this point. We definitely sandbagged Murray into thinking he could out-golf me, didn't we?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
We're just hustling Murray. Because, bro, if we die like this, we're smoking Murray ass.
I do think that, we don't do too many guests on our show. I think this is the ideal guest atmosphere.
Yeah.
Not come into our studio and sit down and we'll talk. You want to play golf and talk football? What guy doesn't want to do that?
That's a good point, unless they're a shit golfer.
I'm a shit golfer.
You're having a good time today, aren't you?
I'm having a great time.
Good little guinea pig, Jonathan. Honestly, Jonathan, the fact that you got that much loft onto that ball, having known you hit the ground, was rather impressive.
Miracle. I'm an anomaly. I think since we are talking, I think 10 years, or not even 10, really 5 years ago, if you were talking about the Oregon job, it's probably further down my list, considering, despite how cool they are, despite the jerseys, everything like that. Now that money is such a big factor, that is why they're higher up the list. And again, it's why, that's the biggest talking point for them, because you have the money to do it. That's how you're going to get kids out there. How you're going to get kids to Eugene. Oh, there's my golf ball in your neighbor's backyard. But how you're going to get kids out there? We'll pay them a bunch of money. You got Nike included on you. Make them some T-shirts for their brand or whatever their logo is. That's what makes them so enticing, and that's a good thing. You're kind of an anomaly in college football to have that type of pool with that type of brand.
Oregon fans listen to this and be like, oh, here we go again. Everyone's blaming our success, crediting our success solely to Phil Knight. even if it wasn't to do with the money, even if it was like in the old school model, the idea that you can pair yourself with Nike very early on, I mean, dear Lord. I do think, I mean, it's ideal to be in the Big Ten and the SEC, but it is a little bit of a disadvantage to be in the Big Ten and be in Eugene, Oregon, logistically speaking. You know, travel and recruiting in general, being the head coach there, kind of a bitch. Like, you're just going to have to work a little bit harder than everybody else, despite the fact that you have all the funds in the world. About 150 left. He's going to hit a 9-iron. Murray, I dare you, buddy. I dare you. Come on, think you got me. Come on, think you got me, blood.
You know, you're talking about how you got to do a little bit more to get kids out in Oregon. I didn't have to get in your skibbities and jump in a pool with a recruit to get them out there. Although, that player did decommit. Was it truly worth it? Probably not.
Was it worth the entire internet cooking you for a month before he decommitted?
No. The answer is no. Way right. Shocker.
Like your take, way right.
Ooh, there we go.
You like that?
Yeah, I like to spin.
Not to mention, Jonathan, if we took over Oregon year one, so like in 25, we like automatically get 11 wins.
Oh, that's true. The schedule's very favorable. That kind of plays into what I was going to ask you of. Would Dan Lanning already having a national title there change anything about this list to you?
No. It would just mean he defied the odds. No different than teams 8 and 9 on this list can certainly win a title. I think it's just easier to consistently win titles as schools 1 through 4 for us today.
Makes sense. I agree. Lock it in.
Come on, potato chip.
Top spin towards the pond. Ducks on the pond talking about the ducks. Dang shame.
Good roll, Jonathan. She's a good roll, Jonathan.
She's a good roll.
Oh!
So close.
You know what that is? That's the clock running out with once. That's Will Howard of a putt right there. That's a Will Howard ass putt. Dang. Let's see what you got, potato chip.
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
Oh, over here. Cameraman got lost in the sauce. My name is Poe. Tay to the toe chip. Jonathan, I know we're going to find out who listened and who watched the show and who didn't by who calls you potato chip in the chat from now on. All right, up to number 6 on our list, Jonathan, we have the LSU Tigers. Now, Jonathan, if a grass eater and a swamp monster can win a national title with your program, probably a pretty winnable football program, amen?
Idiot proof. That's the best way to put it.
That's a great way to put it. Idiot proof. Now, it's not quite Brian Kelly proof, apparently, but hey, it's a new era of college football. Those swamp monsters and grass eaters got to play in a different era of college football. So I do think LSU, though, the main reason they're number 6 for me, we talk a lot about the whole series has basically been about, do you have money and do you have talent around you? You don't have to leave the state of Louisiana to get a skill player, like ever there. You're going to get elite wide receivers and you should get elite DB play, which to me, Jonathan, is what's been the most confusing thing about what's happened to LSU over the last 4 or 5 years. They don't have great wide receivers since Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson left, and they don't have great defensive backs. I think the last first rounder was Derek Stingley. Haven't had a top 90 pick in 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, even recently when you did have those great playmakers like Malik Neighbors and you had Jaden Daniels, a Heisman-winning quarterback, it wasn't enough.
How forget Malik Neighbors? What an idiot.
You didn't have enough. It was because of your shortcomings on defense. You couldn't stop a nosebleed if you needed to, and that typically feels like where they thrive the most because they got the swamp eaters, they got the grass eaters, and that's what their defense is built on. Got to get back to that style of play for LSU.
Absolutely. Number 6 on our list, the LSU Tigers, who have certainly had good wide receivers since Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase have left, including Brian Burns, which is a name my dumbass forgot. LSU Tigers. Brian Burns is an edge rusher that played for the Jags. See, I'm all kerfuffled. I'm going to go hit this drive. We would be remiss if we talked about LSU on this list without talking about the significant home field advantage that they have.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, is that the best college football stadium in the world? Most heavily voted on as such.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
I do agree with that. I mean, there's a reason. I know we crack on them all the time for getting the night games against Army and whatnot. There's a reason why, though. It's because fans want to see it. Fans want to go be a part of it. You need more opportunities to do that. I think it's great for the sport that they get the most night games.
Absolutely. Oh, she's piped. Jonathan, we're playing golf now, buddy. We're playing golf now. Bold decision going khakis out here, Jonathan. I would have been swamp assing them puppies real quick.
Why are you looking at my ass?
I mean, you know me.
Okay.
I'll be checking dudes. I'm not afraid to let you know that I peep dudes. Okay? Most solid club face contact we've had today, though.
Yeah, and it don't mean nothing.
It's all good, big guy. You're a sports takeologist. That's what you do for a living.
I'm here to do.
Yeah, you give takes.
And improve the golf game.
Yeah.
Which, maybe we're doing that. I don't know if we're doing that, but
we'll find out next round, maybe?
Yeah, maybe next time.
Jonathan, you get to drop a ball, and a lot like some of these jobs get to be born on third base. Yeah?
You think LSU is a born on third base job?
I mean, I would think that if you are a rival coach a la Michigan, Ohio State, and you were Jim Harbaugh at, say, like a Texas A&M, you would say that Chip Kelly was indeed born on third base.
Fair.
I mean, if you leave Notre Dame to go to LSU, you're going from a bronze toilet to a gold one? Is that what you're doing? Like, you're just leveling up your amenities slightly?
I mean, they do value family there.
Family. Let's throw a dart, AJ Will.
Amen.
It's fat. It's short.
Got up there.
Dancing, though.
Didn't make it obvious enough. I fell short of the green intentionally just to
Potato chip?
go off again. There's a deer right there, by the way.
Where? Oh, there is. Looky there.
Wildlife documentary, golf content, college football content. You only get it in one place, folks. Short.
Potato. Not bad.
Had it been straight on, it probably would have been a little bit better, but a little wide right, yet again.
They can't all be straight. Show me that flop game, Shane Beamer.
Flop game.
Show me that flop game, Shane Beamer.
Started to dabble in the flop game a little bit.
Get the toes out.
Flop set is. Might stop hating a little less. Online.
Playing Beamer ball. Watching this today, Jonathan, who do you think got that flop game, Shane Beamer joke?
If they're a regular of our network, they certainly got it. But I don't know if people outside of us understand the lore behind that.
How many people are just casually watching this today? This is for the diehard TF fans, isn't it?
Boy, if you came here for golf content, I'm sorry.
I wouldn't be. I'm putting some damn good rolls on it today, Jonathan. Oy! For those of you counting at home, that's 2 parsnips in a row. I want to take a quick second out of this broadcast to say thank you to Kirby Smart for holding off any breaking news during these 9 holes. We appreciate you, sir. Back to our regular scheduled content. All right, Jonathan, as we head to the 7th hole, I think this is another category of teams. We felt like that top 3 teams on this list were kind of pooled together. Those middle 3 teams were kind of obvious. I felt like these bottom 3 teams were splitting hairs, but you'll find out why. Number 7 for us is Notre Dame, the only non-Big Ten, non-SEC team on this list today. I think, obviously, I've gone viral recently criticizing their lack of a conference. I don't like it from a national college football perspective. However, it is really advantageous if you're a head football coach there, man. Like, to be a top 16 overall seed at Notre Dame is a cakewalk. It should be a guaranteed shoe-in for a college football playoff, which for that university, being an independent, means an automatic $20 million on top of another reason why they are here, Jonathan. They have their own NBC TV contract, the only college football program in the country with an exclusive TV rights deal, and that means the world, because they have all the power in the world to do whatever they want. It's why they're able to remain an independent.
Yeah, you're different from anybody else in college football, and despite the fact that you're not in a conference, you arguably have more stability than anybody else because you are Notre Dame, because you have your own TV contract. While the rest of the college football world continues to move on and push on with whatever they are, you're not in the middle of debating if you should add another conference game. You're not in the middle of debating if you're going to add more conference members or what the trajectory of your conference is or anything like that, because you are Notre Dame. So there's a whole lot of stability there, and you're continually great.
Not to mention, you're a national brand. All these schools are national brands, but you have no regional pool for recruits.
Yeah.
You can go pretty much anywhere and have historical success pretty much anywhere recruiting wherever you want. The only difficult part about this, one of the main difficult parts of this, is obviously no conference, so you don't get you have to go out and independently schedule every single year. That's a difficulty from an administration department. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it's all benefits for Notre Dame. That's why they're here at number 7. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and they got a handsome head coach. Jonathan, it should also be very, very well noted that of all these schools that we're going to talk about today, Notre Dame actually has academic standards. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, of all the schools that we're going to talk about today, Notre Dame, of all of them, you actually have to have somewhat of an academic pulse to get in. Now, I think it's been made a lot easier as college football's importance has become even more. But Notre Dame's academic standards make it a little bit more difficult. Certain players can't be recruited there. Can we stay hot, Jonathan? Yes, we can. We ain't got to let the chat know that's way off into the right into the trees. It hit fairway and then kicked right, but oh well.
Off ball this is today. Well, we have not lost the tee. Same tee for all 7 holes so far. It's a win in my opinion.
That's a start.
Give me a good old bring me back shot right here. Off the toe. Impressive. I don't think it came back down.
Launched forever into the ether.
Oh, yeah, that sucker's gone.
Now, historically, Jonathan, Notre Dame has had a relatively difficult schedule. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, independently, they've gone out and scheduled a historically tough schedule over the years. I do wonder how much more difficult it's going to get to schedule big boys. That being said, they just scheduled Texas.
Yeah.
I think they're okay. But I do wonder, as we go to 9 in the Big Ten conference games, as the SEC is getting pushed more and more every day to 9, I wonder how many teams are going to be willing to schedule Notre Dame. I certainly wouldn't. Too good of a football team to play out of conference just for shitting. That ball is smoked, Jonathan.
Yeah, it was.
Right at the pin, too.
Ooh.
How would you view Notre Dame, Jonathan, if they had the same exact success that they've had over the last 10 years and they were an SEC program? So no national titles, but they're there. They're Texas, for example. Now the 5-hour radius would they still be ranked the same? Because they're just in Indiana.
I feel like they would, because it doesn't change anything about attaching themselves to a conference isn't the thing that makes them further down this list. I just think it's everything else, like you said, the academic rigor of the university, everything else, location.
Gotta go and get right. It's a bad play. Oh look, Potato Chip found his ball. Oh, it's coming right at me. Not a bad effort, Potato Chip. Useful. Useful. Alrighty, we're on hole number 8. It's a par 3 here at Traditions Country Club. Number 8 on the list for us, the USC Trojans. Now, Jonathan, if the USC football program had a fan base that was just fanatical, if they had a fan base that filled the Coliseum 100% of the time, they'd be a top 3 football program for me. The proximity to talent, the 5-hour radius that we've been talking about all episode is phenomenal in LA. It's close third to what Texas has and what Georgia has in those pockets of the country. If they could just border around Los Angeles, which is what they're doing now in 26, it looks like they've obviously got a really good talent pool. I think the other thing that we've noticed over the last, I'd say, year at USC, their athletic administration department is clearly invested in winning in football.
Absolutely.
To an extent where some college football programs are talking about them being the school right now that's going most crazy with the NIL stuff, right?
Yeah.
So they are committed to winning right now, and that's been a main point for us on these lists.
And it is interesting to me, or it has always been interesting to me, they commit to football in terms of investing things. They go out and hire Lincoln Riley, one of the top names in the sport at the time, like top 3 coach at the time when Lincoln Riley left Oklahoma to go to USC. Yet the fan support just isn't there, but they try and act like that they are that, and they're trying to build it up to that. Maybe eventually it happens, but it certainly doesn't change anything about what they're able to do recruiting-wise.
And from a historical standpoint, if you were the football coach that returned USC to the glory that we think they should have,
yeah,
like, you're one of those guys.
Absolutely.
You're going to forever be stamped as one of those guys. Number 8 on our list, the USC Trojans. And the other thing, Jonathan, about being the head coach at USC, pretty easy to convince kids to come live in LA. I mean, you guys are going to see it next month, or in 2 weeks rather, when we go out to LA and we're shooting from Hotel Hermosa. And you're going to look, I mean, no duh, people are like, yeah, take half my income, I'll give it to you. It's pretty out here, you know? Throw a dart. Oh, come back, Glass, please.
Boy, did you ever.
It's long. It's all good. It's all good. Hey, what a time for a first hole in one. You know what I mean? What a time.
Live? On live? Not live.
On the main? I think that's going to be the one. Hey, there's good boss in that pond.
Ooh,
Yeah, good boss. Maybe we'll go cast a line after this. Get over that ridge. Roll for me, baby. Roll for me. Go! That was on line.
All right, how close did you say your putt was? Like 8 feet?
Yeah, I would say.
8 feet? Okay. So you putted.
Yeah. Texas wedged.
Let me show you what you really should do.
Oh, okay, Potato. Let's see that there chip.
All right. Nice and easy.
Potato?
I mean, like I said, let me show you what you should have done. Have faith in yourself, okay? Sometimes you can putt it. I'd rather chip it, a little more impressive.
Trust the mitts.
But that went in, too.
It did, didn't it?
That would have been pretty good.
I thought
Nice
you were
little
going to
up and
blow it.
down.
Attaboy, Chip. All right, we are on hole number 9, the final hole of the day. Number 9 on our list, there was a debate between Michigan, the Wolverines, and the Florida Gators. He chose Florida, I chose Michigan. My reason being two names, Oracle, Barstool. Okay, look, I know that Deloitte is eventually going to make its way to college football, but I don't know how much Deloitte's going to be able to tell Oracle that kid's not worth that, or Barstool, that kid's not worth that. I think Barstool can pretty much throw around whatever they want at talent if they want, because that's what it is. He's a talent. If he comes on and does 3 or 4 podcasts, they can mark it up that whatever they want. What Deloitte, I think, is going to be able to stop Jonathan is the local gas station attendant that's worth $100 million or whatever, is cash rich, just being and giving $80,000 to an athlete or pouring it into a collective. I think Deloitte's going to stop some of that. But the big companies, man, these Fortune 500 companies, or even these massive content companies, I don't think there's anything stopping them from, pouring pride into their school, which is why I chose Michigan number 9.
Yeah, and that's something I didn't even think about when it came to Michigan, of the fact that they might be able to get around some of these forthcoming rules that are set to come to college football. They might be able to work their way around it. I just felt like it'd be hard to do a top 9, and they would be in the top 10 regardless, but a top 9 without a Florida school. When we talk about where talent is, where it's implemented at in the United States, Florida is certainly up there with the rest of the states that we've talked about previously. And I feel like they're at least starting to now. Now, there's been touch and go a little bit because I think there's some lack of belief in Billy Napier, but they got DJ Lagway. They followed that up with getting some more assets in the wide receiver room. They're doing what Florida should be doing.
Honestly, I think one of the worst things that happened for the state of Florida is Nick Saban. And what I mean by this is Nick Saban made it a thing where you can come down into South Florida and you could take really, really high-level prospects. In the 90s and early thousands, it was forbidden territory. Most out-of-state schools thought, oh, those are South Florida kids. We're not going to get them. I feel like Nick Saban, even at LSU, his days there, I think kind of changed that narrative. You can even go all the way back to Pete Carroll at USC. They started to become a national brand that started to come out here and tap into Florida. So it's become a much more competitive recruiting ground than it was even 15 or 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But I'm with you, man. Where are these Florida schools? When was one of these coaches? I know Norvell had a stint there at Florida State with success, but these Florida coaches and programs have been down for, I feel like 10, 15 years now. The last most success story, most recent, is Florida in the early 2010s. So where is the national title contending programs down there in Florida? That's why I went with Michigan here at number 9, the Michigan Wolverines. Mention that keep you coming back swing. I need that right now. I need a 280. I'm not asking for a 300-yard drive. I need a 280-yard drive as straight as possible right here. That's what I want. Keep me coming back swing right here. Give it to me. Oh, that's not it. That was. All right, Jay, we'll finish strong, kid.
There we go. Fairway finder for once. Nope. Wasn't meant to be today.
Hey, that storm looking rather threatening right about now.
Storm chasers, National Geographic, football takes, golf content, all in one video.
Saw a goddamn deer.
That's what I'm saying, man. Get it all around.
Now, Jonathan, as you know, I went to higher levels of education and graduated with a master's degree in business, okay? And in my master's courses, at every single end of every course, you had to write basically a dissertation for that class. Big 19, 20, 30-page papers. Now, in the middle of those 30-page documents, I would slip in a small sentence, say, "Dear teacher, dear professor, if you're still reading this shit, please let me know. I want to go single-handedly to your boss and let them know you are a grinder." If you're a listener still watching this at this point, let me know. First person to comment, still watching, Free Film Guy t-shirt on me. I mean, I might be a golfer.
Now that's a bring me back shot. All in one, Lord. That's all I ask.
And protect me from them their lightning strikes.
My dad used to, you were saying, who could hit a 3-iron straight? My dad used to say, only God can hit a 2-iron. Or not even God can hit a 2-iron, so you better hold that sucker up in the air, 'cause he ain't hitting that thing either. Get up there.
Bro, like 95% of our watchers right now are so sympathetic for you right now because they're the same golfer. They're the same golfer.
COVID golf rules.
Putt and stroke.
The Happy Gilmore?
The Happy Gilmore. Hey, in all seriousness, appreciate you guys for trying this new content out with us. I hope you enjoyed it. I know we had fun today, even though we didn't have the greatest round of golf. Appreciate you being here. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button on your way out. I love you. Bye.